On the Truck Series side of things, to wrap up the NASCAR news portion of this episode, we've got Austin Hill returning to Hattori Motorsports for next season in the number 16 truck, and will continue to run part-time in the Xfinity Series as well in the 61 car, I guess it is, for next season as well. Similar to what he did this season, it's not really changing in any respect. Obviously, Austin Hill, we'll talk about him later on in the show as well. What happened to him at Martinsville? Definitely not the season they wanted to end it on, but Hattori Motorsports has become a mainstay in the Truck Series, has won a championship with Brett Moffitt 2 seasons ago, and it seemed like Austin Hill was set for a championship run this season. He did everything right, the regular season champion, and I'll talk about how his season ended in a little bit, but this is a great move, I think, for that entire organization. Hill was a bit of a risk. We discussed that way back when on Spirit Live when that news was announced, but he seems to have really come into his own here in the Truck Series, especially at that program. He's become a race winner on multiple occasions since he's come over to this team, and it's disappointing to see how his season ended, but there's definitely a lot of prospect for next season. He goes into next season probably one of the championship favorites, if not the championship favorite, when you look at the body of work that he's had over the past 2 seasons, Kyle.
Yeah, again, this is just a move that makes sense. It didn't look like Austin Hill was going to be getting any promotions to the Xfinity Series level, at least with anybody competitive. So stay in that Truck Series program. They're a program as well that kind of splits time with MBM in that Xfinity Series. So they basically get to pick and choose which races they run while also running for the owner championship as well. So it's just a strong move for Austin Hill. I think it's best for his development as well. He's definitely not a young driver, but he's still one that has some promise and could do things at different levels in the future potentially. So just a move that makes sense. Won the regular season championship, as he mentioned, will be in contention just slightly behind Brett Moffitt for the overall season-long points championship there. Obviously, heartbreak this past weekend not being in the Final Four there, but still lots to build on for next year. And looks to be another championship threat next year, and hopefully we get to see him in more Xfinity races as well, where he's kind of been up and down. You look at Talladega and kind of the mistake he did there that kind of screwed over Riley Herbst, but then you also look back a couple weeks in the last couple weeks, with a solid top 5 run, I believe it was recently.
I think it's something like that.
Top 5 at what was it, Vegas a few weeks back?
I couldn't tell you. I can check.
Regardless, Hattori's had some strong runs recently with Austin Hill at the
Kansas,
at the Xfinity Series level. Was it Kansas that they had the top 5 at?
Kansas,
so there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah. Great decision for Hill, I think, because then he continues to run full-time in the trucks in what is maybe the most competitive series in NASCAR, for being honest, while also getting spot starts and more experience in the Xfinity level. So great decision for everybody.
Yeah, I've really come to love that entire organization there ever since that kind of the swan song season with Brett Moffitt. That entire Hattori Motorsports team has really taken a hold of that series, and for being a single truck organization, they've done wonders for Toyota and have given a great, building block for a lot of with Brett Moffitt and Austin Hill specifically for their future careers. And hopefully we get to see a championship for Austin Hill, or at least a Final Four appearance, which he should have had probably the last 2 seasons, come to fruition here next season.